Hi folks, Uncle Mo here. As promised, I'm coming out with a video for you on YouTube here after my first 30 days of play inside Entropia Universe. I'm opening up the books, just letting you know what I bought in for, where the money's at now, and hopefully it'll give new players an idea of where money goes in this game. Hopefully the veterans will comment on things that maybe I could do better, or things I should be counting, things I'm not counting properly. So, at any rate, I hope this is a learning experience for everybody. I know I've learned from earlier videos that I'm not staying hydrated enough. So we'll just pop open a Coors Light here, and hopefully that'll keep me from getting too much of a dry mouth throughout these videos. I do apologize for that earlier. But at any rate, here we go, folks. I decided over time, over this 30-day period, to deposit. I ended up with a $500 deposit, alright? I started out a little small, and then I realized, wait a minute, I need a little extra money because I'm not playing the game optimally, alright? As you may or may not know, MindArc has a bank. They do charge a percentage for deposits and withdrawals, and that percentage is 0.35%. So I ended up with 4,825 PED that was purchased from MindArc, okay? 10 PED is $1 United States dollar. You can always cash in at that exchange rate, folks. So, like I said, the money just doesn't go away once you deposit it. There's items in the game that have value, and ultimately when you're done playing the game, you can cash out just about anything you can think of. So where am I at? I've concentrated on mining as a profession. Currently, I've spent, let's see, for the month, I spent 7,226 PED on mining probes. I spent 3,900 plus with the markup, another 415. So about 4,300 on the mining amps. A lot of players will encourage new players, you know what, don't use those mining amps. I waited till I was about level 5 in some areas and decided to give them a try. They work out. I really like having them just because for me it helps me build up stacks quicker, which is what you want, folks. We'll get into that a little bit more here in just a couple minutes. I tried to kind of calculate my estimated markup. You want to be in areas that are high markup, but to start out the game, I'm just dropping probes everywhere that I can, just to kind of get a feel for what ores are where's the best ores. Now that I've dropped that many, I've got an idea on the map where I want to be and where I don't want to be. But until you figure that out, you're going to be in some lousy places, you're going to be in some good places, alright? The total TT, or trade terminal value, of the ores and net manners that I've mined, 10,453. In other words, that translates into a net loss of 1,089 PED for a TT return value of 90.56%. Everything in this game has a negative expectation, alright? And the general accepted number is about 90% for mining. You spend 100 PED on mining, you're going to, on average, get 90% of that back, alright? So I ended up right at 90.56. I was much higher than this, but as numbers kind of washed out, yeah, I ended up at 90.56. All right. As far as the amps and unamped, you know, how did I do when I was amped and unamped? It turned out to be about the same percentage. In the future, I'll go over that in future videos, but I think there's certain places you want to be amped and certain places you don't want to be amped. You're certainly just fine not using mining amps to get started. I may have used them a little bit too early. I don't know yet, but I do feel comfortable using them. Alright, I'll just say that. Decay, and for those of you that this might look a little familiar to, I definitely kind of copied from Pig Bennis the way he kind of does a little bit of accounting here. I definitely want to make sure he gets credit for that. I'm going to make sure that his channel gets linked in the descriptions here. Definitely, if you want to see how a veteran miner does some things, go check out his vids. A lot of great information there. I've definitely learned a lot from him, so check it out, alright, folks? But decay here, spent 174 PED this month just on like oil, TT value for rock finders, the things that'll refine ore, and just the TT decay on finders and things like that. So there's some expense involved with that, all right? Now, the important part. Let's get to the actual sales, all right? This is where you're going to make up your money. This is where you win or lose the game, folks, all right? 90%, that number is pretty much just going to be there. You're going to get that over time, no matter what, all right? Where you make or lose money in the game is how you're selling the ores and net matters that you're mining. This month, I ended up with a final markup of about 16.05%. The big number here is in fees on the auction house. I spent 117 ped. Now, what does that mean? Every auction house sale in this game costs you 0.5 ped, plus a commission on top of that. So, in order to get your proper markup percentage on items, you got to be able to build up big enough stacks. Obviously, you can't just get 3 or 4 ped worth of an ore and try and sell that on the auction house when the fee starts at 0.5 ped. Your percentage is gone. It's gone right there, folks. You can't do it. And your other option is to just sell the item back to the game at trade terminal value, which is a, you know, if you can get a percentage for something, you should do that. Another thing you can do is sell to a trader, which they'll give you some markup, and then what they'll do is resell the item at the proper market value because they're getting the big stacks. That's okay. That's better than nothing, but it's not optimal. You really want to be doing that yourself. In order to do that, you need to have enough float money so that you can have enough money to play the game while your items you have on the auction house are selling. It can take up to a week for a lot of those items to go. That's why I had to keep buying in, folks. I just didn't have enough float money, and I ended up with $500 with deposits, all right? Now, where am I at now, all right? Total ped in my wallet, there it is, 1310. I have some items that are on the auction waiting to be bought. That's 452 ped worth. Mine materials that I just haven't built up big enough stack yet or put on the auction house yet, that's almost 700 ped worth. Total materials from hunting and things like that. I've done a little space hunting with my mentors. Fun stuff, but I wasn't very good at it. So I definitely lost some money there. Any shot, you actually have to kind of line up your shots when you're out space hunting, and it takes a little while to get used to. I'll put it to you that way. But I have some materials there that I just can't unload just yet because the stacks aren't big enough. People in this game, they want to buy things in high volume, high stack amounts. Crafters use a lot of materials, and they don't want to mess around with piecemeal buying everything a little bit at a time. Weapons and ammo on hand, 157 ped. I have some tools, which includes, unused survey probes and things like that. 832 ped worth of that. Got some finders, things like that, folks. Vehicles and fuel, you want to count that. Got 100 ped worth of that. The other things that I put here, if you have any outstanding bids, that takes money out of your wallet right away. You want to make sure to account for that. Blueprints, things of that nature. I got 80 ped worth there. And then I went ahead and projected markup on things, all right? Markup on stackable items and markup on non-stackables. What does that mean? Well, I've got a vehicle here, I got a quad jet. I think the trade terminal value is like 42, 45 ped or whatever it is, but you could easily get 150 for that right now in today's market, okay? So there's markup there. Also, there's markup on the materials that are on auction and that are in your inventory. I didn't count everything. Anything that was below 105% or anything that was below 10 ped as far as the stack size, I didn't count that as a markup, just in case I do emergency cash out, all right? So I really came up with some conservative values on what my current markup worth is on those types of items. So where does that leave me? Total TD worth right now, 4,328 ped, or a net loss of 496 ped. So, not great. Not great, folks. But is that everything? No, it isn't quite everything. Definitely got some blueprints. I did try some crafting, all right? It probably wasn't a smart thing to do because I do not have Engineering 10. which means I don't have blueprint comprehension, and I haven't quite learned about that yet, but I'm definitely tried to start crafting when it was much less than optimal to do so. So I lost some ped there. On the other hand, I still have some blueprints that have been leveled up, and they have a quality rating. I tried to look for some equivalent blueprints on the auction, really couldn't come up with anything, but there's definitely some value to those. Also, skill markup. Everything in this game has value, so I did build up some skills. Give you an idea, prospecting is my best skill, okay? There's, right now I have that at 1521. Just to kind of get an idea for value on that, I looked for a chip that would double my prospecting from 1500 to 3000. And in order to do that, I'd be looking at spending probably 300 to 400 ped. Now, does that mean I can chip out immediately for that value? Probably not. I'm not quite sure in the process, but I assume they're only going to let you chip out a certain percentage or a certain way. I'm sure it's not optimal. So, take all my skills together, plus all the blueprints. Yeah, that might be close to 496 ped. It's getting real. It's pretty near. All right, I'll put it to you that way, folks. Engineering, I only have at 500, and there's certain skills that probably just won't sell well. That are almost, I wouldn't say meaningless skills, but they're not popular ones. I'll put it to you that way. So, veterans, definitely love to hear your opinions on how you kind of calculate your net worth as far as your skills and blueprints. I think I'd be making up a lot of this loss right there. So I'm close. All that together, I'm close to the 500 that I have deposited. I think I'm at a bit of a loss, but I think it's a reasonable loss as far as comparing prices to what I might be spending on some other MMOs. Okay. So again, this is where the money's going. It just doesn't go away. That's the only thing I really wanted to demonstrate. And again, I'd love to hear some ideas from some veterans on there on maybe how you calculate things or what you consider to be optimal style play. I'm not going to open up the books again, but I don't mind doing it for the first 30 days here, just because. Yeah, hey, I'm a new player. Obviously, it took money to level up skills and things like that. I was definitely not mining optimally or in the best areas. So I think this value being a little bit down like this, I think that's all right for now. But next month, I got to concentrate on playing the game a little better, on getting a bit better markup. I think for stacks, I was selling a lot of things to traders, or I was just selling some things in bulk where I should have been saving up and getting a little better markup. And I've got to concentrate on, if I'm going to be hunting, to do that in a little bit more of a bulk type fashion and really concentrate on it. So crafting I really need to wait on, I think, until I get engineering 10. I heard if you go hang out on somebody's mothership and just repair it for a few days, you can get that engineering skill built up quite nicely. So I'm going to give that a shot. If you got some other ideas on how to build up an engineering skill, hey, throw it in the comments, you know. Let us all learn a little bit. So, at any rate, folks, that's the books for the first 30 days. I hope this eliminates a little bit of fear on where the money goes. There are, again, other guides if you want to play for less money or even for free. The guides are out there. You can do it, folks. There's some great success stories. If you think I'm a little silly for depositing 500, hey, some guy just bought $2.5 million worth of Calypso, and I don't even think that's all the Planet Calypso. That's the real lunatic right there, right? I'm sure it'll be a fine investment. $2.5 million. At any rate, don't think I'm the crazy one just because I put in 500. It's certainly the money didn't just disappear. I can certainly get most of that back right now. So, at any rate, folks, if you decide to give the game a try, give yourself a nice start on Planet Arcadia. Very good new player experience there. Come look me up, and again, check out Pig Menace's videos. Definitely learned a lot from him. And there's some other great videos out there, and great little helpful items on Planet Arcadia forums, things like that. So, y'all take care. That's the vid for today, folks.